It's DTS 79, and a Bungie Instagram post has people speculating if we'll see Vault of Glass in Crota's End again in 2016.
You're listening to Destiny the Show. Welcome, Guardians.
What's up, everybody? My name is BBKDRAGOON. Welcome to Destiny the Show number 79. Ditty, how are you doing this week?
I am getting pretty tired because this is the first full week we've had Flynn, our new standard poodle puppy, and man, he is just a ball of energy, and it takes a lot of work training a new puppy.
I bet, dude. How's he doing? How's he adjusting?
He's doing awesome. He's super relaxed and super calm and just super sweet. And this weekend, we socialized him with a young child, about 2.5 years old, and an older black lab, maybe 7 or 8 years old. So he's getting a lot of excitement going around. So it's really good that, the first, the weeks 8 and between 8 and 16 weeks of puppyhood is the prime time to socialize him. And we're trying to introduce him to as many people and dogs and cats and young children as possible, just so he's relaxed in any environment that he goes into. Nice,
dude. Very good stuff. Did you play anything this week?
Yeah, I logged in to get that exclusive emblem between January 7th and the 10th. And I played Mayhem Clash, and it's the first time I've touched Crucible since I guess Iron Banner. That really doesn't count. Like casually playing Crucible in a couple weeks, and it was really nice. It was my first experience. This is going to blow some people's minds, but it was my first experience with Mayhem settings with Song of Flame. A guy on my team had Song of Flame with his Radiance Warlock, and I was throwing smoke bombs and grenades like it was nobody's business. It was awesome.
You loved that, huh?
Yeah.
It's an underused perk.
It was just a right bumper clicking with the stick. That's what my grenade and melee are, and it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I was just locking down these areas. It was awesome.
Very good. I also played some Crucible this week. I haven't played in the last few days. My internet's been a little bit junky, but should be getting fixed tomorrow. Played with a bunch of different weapons. Had a lot of fun coming back into Destiny. I've been grinding the Titan. The Titan is like 290 light, but it would be closer to 300 if I could get a legendary artifact, because I've got all these stinking artifacts from my Warlock, but you can't infuse them. Well, you can infuse them, but I have yet to get a legendary artifact yet to use for infusion. But enjoying it, man. Taking a break and coming back. It's such a chill game to just sit back, watch YouTube and do strikes, just relax.
Or listen to Destiny the Show, right?
Or any other podcast for that matter.
Crucible Radio giving you tips while you're playing the Crucible.
Yeah, that's probably it. Let's hop into the news. First up, I want to do a shout out over to N64 Josh, who wrote a book, The Strategy Guide to Full-Time Streaming. And the link for this is on our website as well. He reached out to me a little bit earlier this week. For those of you guys who don't know N64 Josh, he's at N64 Josh over on Twitter, and he's part of the Aim Assist podcast. And he's put together an audiobook as well as a regular ebook talking about how you can become a full-time streamer. And I'll read here from the website. Do you dream of being a full-time streamer? Do you understand the work that is involved in making that dream a reality? With this strategy guide, I will walk you through the process of building and growing an audience for your stream. Growth doesn't happen overnight, but I lay out a plan to expedite the process so you can reach your dream faster. You'll have to put in the work to make your dream a reality. If you're looking for overnight success, don't buy the book. I give you a strategy, but it's your hard work that will bring success. So I got the chance to actually take a look at this Ditty. Very cool. And if somebody is listening to this who is interested in the world of streaming or even just YouTube in general or creating digital media and content, it's pretty cool. And he's got, like I said, an ebook option, an audiobook option, or the both paired together. So the link for that will be on our website, or you can check it out over at N64Josh on Twitter, which is pretty sweet.
Awesome.
Up next, I wanted to just briefly mention the Bungie tweet that went out this week. in which they said the Bungie Weekly Update will return on January 21st. Not a major reveal, but a preview of our February update. More to come, ... So, Ditty, what do you make of this? Obviously, we had been talking, as well as a bunch of other streamers, hoping that when they came back on the 21st, we'd see something a little bit more major. Seems like they're trying to suppress the hopes of folks before things get out of hand, would you say?
Yeah, I think the February update is going to be welcome. Obviously, it's going to be any update to the game is going to be welcome. But I think we're going to really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. When they say February update, do you expect there to be February event tied to this update, or what do you think?
I would say I'm hoping for a February event. Yes, I don't think it's going to be weapon balance changes. I think they're going to maybe introduce some type of, I don't know, maybe patrol event like we saw with the treasure chests farming with the Aether keys for House of Wolves. I'm expecting something like that. It's a little bit low key, but it's also going to keep players invested. And then maybe if they do introduce that patrol world event, it carries into the next major world event that they add in March, April, May, whenever. Whatever you acquire there in the February event is going to carry over. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, kind of reminiscent of how the House of Wolves event started about a week before it actually came out. We were all running around the different planets trying to farm our keys as much as we could, just hoping what was going to be next. I think that's realistic. I would hope that the February update, though, has enough gameplay in it to satisfy. SRL was fun, not 3 weeks worth of fun, as we've mentioned here before. Now, you did mention a balance update. There will be a balance update coming for PvP balance in the spring, I believe is when John Wyzanowski mentioned that. So my bet would be March or April for that kind of a thing. Speaking of PvP balance, I took Thorn into the Crucible this week to test out what a lot of the PvP YouTubers are talking about. Thorn is actually pretty stinking good. Now, there's no year 2 version. There is no, power level that is up to par for Trials and Iron Banner. And it's no longer 2 headshot kill, but it's 2 headshot, 1 body kill. Extremely good. I will admit that the ADS accuracy increase that we received with the December buff for hand cannons, that stuff is noticeable, man. You can land a lot of shots with Thorn at decent mid-ranges. It's not a bad gun at all. In fact, it's pretty good, I would say. I
saw the video you posted out, and the comments are like, man, you must be really bad to bring the Thorn back out. I thought it was really funny.
It's funny that gun is forever going to be labeled by the broader community as scumbag. Just ridiculous because just a week prior, Mida was being labeled scumbag. Whatever is the dominant PvP weapon gets labeled as scumbag. If it's the 1,000-yard stare sniper rifle, people are whining about that. LDR flew under the roof or under the radar,
really
wouldn't you say, did he?
Yeah, it really did because Final Round was just so prominent back then.
Yeah. I mean, people did get salty about it, but things have escalated. It just seems whatever hits the mainstream is the popular gun. Like, I remember when everybody was all pissy about Suros. I mean, the good old Suros days, right?
Ding, ding, yeah, ding, 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 ding. I would love to see guns like Necrochasm be meta and just see how people react. I think that would be hilarious.
High rate of fire. Auto rifles aren't too bad right now, especially the high rate of fire ones. They can be used to success on certain maps, but I don't think they're as top tier as, let's say, a Mida or Last Word.
If you can team shot with ARs, they outshoot almost anything in the game. Anything. Even team shooting with scout rifles or hand cannons or pulse rifles. I think auto rifles are king in terms of team shooting.
Interesting. Well, let's talk about the Instagram post that Bungie posted, and they also tweeted this as well. 2016 incoming was the text that they put alongside of the tweet in the Instagram post, and it's a community creation, and it has Guardians standing in the old Vault of Glass armor, the Kabir. How do I say it? Kabir?
Yeah, Kabir, whichever.
Yeah, somebody will correct me on Twitter, I'm sure.
I think it's Kabir, because we did hear him say that in one of the Taken King story missions.
Ah, well, very good. 2016 is written at the top of this picture that has people in the Kabir armor. That's the Vault of Glass armor piece, for those of you guys who aren't familiar with Year 1 in Destiny.
For the Titans, anyways.
For the Titans, yeah. And so What do you make of this? Do you think this is a tease from Bungie talking about maybe making raids relevant again? And by relevant, guys, we're talking about Crotazen, Vault of Glass.
I think, now that I'm thinking about it, the February update, even though it wouldn't be major, making Vault of Glass and Crotazen armor drop at current endgame tier, if I was Bungie, I wouldn't consider that a major update. I mean, I might be starting a super hype train by saying that kind of thing, but I think that would be considered a minor update, just making older raids armor drop at current light levels. I think that would be a realistic minor update in February.
That would be an excellent February update if it were the case. My hope is when they do bring Crotazen and Vault of Glass back and make it relevant and make it something that players want to go through to earn that armor, just giving us rewards that are current tier that motivate folks to go through it again. I hope when that occurs, it's not celebrated as, hey, brand new content, guys. We did a ton of work.
I was just about to say, could Bungie maybe consider that our February live team update? Like a world
I'm sure
event?
They could, yeah. I'm sure it depends on the level that they put into it, and I'm not trying to cut anybody down. I do want to see Vault of Glass and Crotazen have rewards that make them worthwhile to go back through, because they're a blast. I love those raids. It'd be fun if we could actually do more VOGs and more CEs, because we used to do that all the stinking time. But is that really worthy of an event, worthy of the, hey, our live team created a bunch of new content for you, or they just sort of tweaked old stuff,
The answer would be no if it's as shallow as just updating the armor. If it was an event where they made some type of lore quests tie into it, or if they added some type of playlist for the raids, like adding modifiers, Nightfall tier modifiers, I think then you could consider it to be that world event. Much like, I would say, Festival of the Lost tier. I think Sparrow Racing League is a larger side of just updating older raids. I think just updating the older raids with the quest line and modifiers would be medium, not small like Festival of the Lost, but not big like Sparrow Racing League with totally new content there.
The tough question is, what kind of microtransactions could they put together for a raid event?
Add elemental damage to your primary weapons. No, they wouldn't do that. That's not cosmetic. No, they wouldn't do that.
Trophy cases?
Trophy cases, yes. Oh my God. Add a trophy case, yeah. Yes, I would pay money for a trophy case to put my older weapons in there, because, if they don't want to carry over the weapons because they are elemental primaries into year 2 Destiny, people would be earning these weapons at year 1 values, put them in the trophy case. I think that would be good. Yeah, I'd accept that.
Where would be a good place to display this trophy case?
Somewhere in the tower, obviously. Probably across from Lord Saladin for Iron Banner. But then again, it's not open all the time, so that probably wouldn't be a good spot. Maybe not in the tower hangar. Maybe across from the speaker where Xur usually stands. I think that would be a good spot. There's a door there, right?
I wonder if it could be accessible too through the actual menu system. When you inspect another player, if the first page that came up actually had some of your trophy weapons or some of your accolades, achievements from first year that you could pick what you want displayed,
Yeah, like feats of accomplishment that your Guardian has achieved. Yeah, I've acquired the Fatebringer. I've acquired Praetorian Foil, probably the rarest gun in the game at this point. I've never seen a Praetorian Foil drop, and I've done Vault of Glass maybe 50 times, maybe 100 times. It's really rare. I've never seen it.
I'd give you mine if I could. And like the 80,000 Praetus Revenge that I have. Okay, so let's play another speculation game. If it's not raids being upped, what do you think a fun February event could be? It
can't be Crucible. I don't want it to be Crucible. I would say let's go back to the patrol mission idea. Something that links to a later world event along the lines of the Ether Keys. You were farming these world events in patrol mode. You got the treasure chest with the Ether Key potentially dropping, and those keys were used for end game content like Prison of Elders. I think something along those lines would be best case scenario. Yeah,
I
I
would
would prefer
love-
something in the PvE realm anyways.
Yeah, agreed. When we're going down that PvE idea, Queen's Wrath, reboot it, make it better, make it work. And you could tie Queen's Wrath into some sort of PoE, like revival event. Skolas is trying to escape again, and you need to go back in.
A Taken Skolas. Let's do that.
Taken Skolas. Actually, PoE with Taken would be a really interesting experience.
Yeah, because they're annoying enough as it is in story mode and the raid. Imagine them in an arena setting. Oh my god.
My favorite fight of all of Destiny was when we played Skolas before the nerf. Before they basically made it wave-based enemies, and it was enemy spawn every 90 seconds, was it?
Yeah, instead of at health intervals. Yep.
Yep. Dude, that was challenging. That was fun. It required teamwork and communication. I like when there are 3-player, really difficult PvE tasks to accomplish. As much as I enjoy King's Fall, and I think they've done a really good job making it pretty, you have to spin a lot of plates. You know, I don't think they can go much further with 6-man stuff you can do, because hard mode, King's Fall, if one of your players isn't doing the mechanic correctly, it's pretty hard to make up for it, you know, whereas Vault of Glass, you can definitely have 2 guys not even knowing what's going on, basically, and still carry them through most of it, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, and let's not even talk about Crota's End. You know, people are soloing it with Rock Band equipment.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, I think a harder 3-man Destiny Fireteam PvE experience for Endgame, like on the levels of difficulty as King's Fall, without 3 extra people. I think that would be really cool.
Absolutely. All right, so we know that there's going to be some sort of update, let's say an event in February. When do you think the bigger thing that was talked about by Irk about 2 or 3 weeks ago, when do you think we're going to see that in the spring? Because let's remember, E3 is going to probably be June or May. I think we're going to see our larger update a little bit before E3, get the hype train back rolling. E3 drops our Destiny 2 trailer. When do you think that bigger update is showing up?
The bigger update, I would say May for sure.
Okay.
If we look back to last year, House of Wolves dropped in May. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. And so February is rolling around with an update. I would expect something late March in between the February and the May update. And then the May is, you know, that really big drop. Maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, a raid would be incredible in May. Because I think a raid moving into the content that's releasing for Destiny 2 would be really nice. And
that would be progressive, too. That's not something they've done before.
It would, yeah. That's, you know, I'm thinking with, you know, I don't know. I was about to say I'm thinking with rose-colored glasses, but that would be nostalgia. But I'm very optimistic about what I expect in year 2 Destiny. But I think after May, it would have to be, you know, they can't, whatever's released in May shouldn't hold us over until September or November, whenever the next Destiny comes out. Because I think there's got to be something in between there, because we looked at House of Wolves. That was 2, 3, 4 weeks of content when we beat all the Prison of Elders bosses, got kind of stale, and you know, we were kind of sitting ducks for a month or 2 before Taken King came out. So I would really hope that they continue on like a 7-8 week rotation for content from the live team.
Yeah.
That'd be like a month and a half. I would really like that.
That seems really realistic as well. I think we're obviously going to get events up until the release of Destiny 2. This is a whole new ballgame. Year 2 is totally different. There was a lot of comfort in year 1, knowing that when you bought the season pass, Dark Below was going to be a thing, House of Wolves was going to be a thing, whereas right now it's so up in the air. We don't even know when the next event is going to arrive. I know they're enjoying the surprise aspect of things, but hopefully this radio silence breaks pretty soon and we're actually going to get a little bit more information, because these content droughts and planning your time is a little bit easier. I know that when Taken King was coming out, I guess that's a bad example. When House of Wolves was coming out, I focused on getting my alt characters up to their max potential level prior to that, and I kind of planned my time around that. Whereas right now it's like, well, No, I'll just keep playing the main. I'll have time to do the alts later, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a really good point because planning ahead is, it's a thing in gaming, Just being able to see a roadmap in content, and if microtransactions are coming along with that content, you're not just, allotting your time, scheduling your time ahead of time. You're actually scheduling financial purchases. It's like, oh, March is rolling around and Bungie said this is a huge drop, just hypothetically. That's going to be microtransactions in there as well. So I'm going to want to really buy that really, really awesome item. Then they're going to need to make those decisions ahead of time so that they're more prepared for when it drops.
Yeah, last gen players probably want to start budgeting now for a next gen console. I should say current gen console, because I highly doubt Destiny 2 is going to be supported for the 360 and the PS3. I think most of the community would be pretty surprised if that were the case. I don't put it past Activision.
I'm going to have to agree with you there on the current gen purchase upgrade, I should say, because we've talked about it before, so I'm not going to say anything more on the matter. Time to upgrade.
I do want to remind people, if you have a PS3 character, they automatically will transfer to PlayStation 4. If you have an Xbox 360 character, they automatically will transfer to the Xbox One, as long as you're using the same account, basically. So if it's the same PSN ID, it's going to transfer back and forth. I had somebody I talked to in a YouTube comment this week where it was like, bro, I'm about to blow your mind. He's like, dude, I want to play it on PS4, but I put so much time into the PS3 character. I'm like, all right, man, you ready for this? You ready? Boom.
Yeah,
Mind
you can
blown?
just carry
I
them
think
over.
so.
And don't forget, we're carrying our characters over from year 1 and 2 of Destiny through Destiny 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
For the 10 years they have the contract for. We're not leaving anything behind. We're not starting over fresh when the new game launches. We're continuing on with our characters.
Don't buy level boosts.
Play through all the
Until
content,
we're at
man.
If we're at Destiny 3, there you go. Buy a level boost. Skip a bunch of stuff. That's okay. Destiny 1, not right. No, don't. $30. Don't do it.
What if the new Destiny, the raid in Destiny 2 is with the Stranger and Osiris? If you don't play, if you don't know who the Stranger is or who Osiris is through the story missions, because you use that level boost to skip all of them, you're going to be left behind. You're going to miss out on a lot of lore.
Bro, if you have ever done a WoW raid without, like a WoW current set of raids, without knowing what's going on in the stories or the expanded universe, you're screwed. There is so much stuff happening. You're like, who's that panda? What is he doing to the orc? What's going on here? And then you find out later. So like, I went through all of Miss of Pandaria, really enjoyed it. And then I did the full raid content. And then there was an audiobook for like the latest book in between Miss of Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor. And I listened to the audiobook while playing WoW. I know, incredibly nerdy. I was waiting for a job to start. I had like a month, so I wasted a bunch of time. But it was really cool because the book had so much additional lore that made so much more sense. And then when you would go through the raid, you'd see little things happening. You're like, oh yeah, I know who that is and what worked out there. So Destiny books, when are they coming, right?
Oh man, not soon enough. I'll tell you that.
And with that, I think we're going to wrap up this rather short show. Again, not a ton of news going on right now, and with my internet being kind of fluky, hard for me and Ditty to do a normal discussion. But fear not, January 21st is around the bend, and I think we're going to have some more social media drops from Bungie over this next week. And if not, I'm going to brainstorm some sweet topics for us to talk about, Ditty. So where can people find your content,
Let's
man?
do it. Let's dive into Destiny Extended Universe.
Where can people find your content?
Twitter.com/Ditty DTS DITTY DTS and YouTube.com/Wooshness WOOOSHNESS.
Excellent. Remember to follow us over at Destiny the Show on Twitter. Check out our friends DestinyTracker.com for the best place on the web to track your Destiny stats. Also check out at N64Josh for his guide on becoming a full-time streamer. Something pretty cool there. You can follow me at BBKDRAGOON on Twitter. Same name on YouTube. Have a great week, Guardians, and we'll talk with you next time.